Picasso used blue, red, pink, and green square tiles to cover a rectangular region above his sink. All the tiles were identical in size. One-third of the region was covered with blue tiles, two-sevenths of the region was covered with red tiles, and the rest of the region was covered with pink and green tiles. Altogether, there were 140 red, pink, and green tiles. Picasso used three-fifths as many green tiles as pink tiles. How many pink tiles did he use? We're going to solve this problem visually, and there are many ways you can solve this problem. I'm just going to use a specific technique, and we're going to see where we can go with that technique. So I'm going to pretend that the rectangular region is a 3 by 7 region. Okay, 3 comes from this denominator, 7 comes from this denominator. Okay, now one-third of this region has blue tiles. Okay, and two-sevenths of this region has red tiles. Now two-sevenths would mean this, which is 1/7, another 1/7, 2/7. However, you can't put this, two different tiles in the same area. We generally don't do that. So we're going to pretend this is what he has. So basically 6 parts must be red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Note, each square is not one tile. Each square may represent 50 tiles, 60 tiles, 20 tiles. I don't know how many it represents, but all I'm trying to say right now is 1/3 of the region is blue and 2/7 of the region is red. 1/7. Let's take green and see if it's 2/7 or not. 1/7. Oops. 1/7 and 2/7. Okay. And these remaining squares are filled with pink and green tiles. Now, another critical step. I don't know exactly how many of these tiles are pink and how many of these tiles are green. All I know is the remaining tiles are either pink or green. Okay, again, each square may have 50 tiles in it, 20 tiles in it. I don't know, and I really don't need it right now. Now let's go back and read the question and see what we can do. The question says, altogether there were 140 red, pink, and green tiles. That tells me this area should represent 140 tiles. Why? Because this area has red, pink, and green tiles. So how many squares are here? There are exactly 14 squares. If you take 140 divided by 14, you're going to get 10. And that tells me that each square has 10 tiles. And again, a critical step, you want to make sure you get it. Each square has 10 tiles. How did I do that? The question says all the red tiles, pink tiles, and green tiles add up to 140, and according to my picture, 14 squares have red, pink, or green tiles. So I take 140 divided by 14, I get 10. Let's erase all that. That's a very key step or key conclusion. So we now know each square has 10 tiles in it. Sorry, 10. Let me rewrite it. Each square has 10 tiles. Now that tells me something very important. That tells me how many pink and green tiles do I really have. If each square represents 10 tiles, I have 8 squares. My conclusion is going to be I have 80 pink and green tiles. So altogether, all the pink tiles plus all the green tiles should add up to 80 tiles. That's a key conclusion. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, and this picture will be gone. This line is from the previous slide. Altogether, there are 80 pink and green tiles. Now, let's read this. Picasso used 3/5 as many green tiles as pink tiles. Now, what does that really mean? That tells me if he used 5 parts, if 5 parts represent pink tiles, well, let's use pink. I think that kind of makes sense. The question says, he used 3/5 as many green tiles as pink tiles. So, if these are the pink tiles, if he used 5 parts of pink tiles, then he must have used 3 parts of green tiles. Another important step that sometimes people overlook or misread. So this is what 3/5 as many green as pink means. If you have 5 circles representing the pink tiles, then there will be 3 circles representing the green tiles. That tells me to take all the pink and green tiles and cut them into 8 identical pieces. And that's what I'm going to do on my next picture. So what I have here is pink, 5 parts, and green, 3 parts, because green is 3/5 as many pink. Now, if this whole thing is 80, this whole thing is 80, each square should be 10. And the question says, how many pink tiles are there? Well, 30 so far, 40 so far, 50. The answer is there are 50 pink tiles. That's my final answer.